It happened. The worst case scenario. Our democracy has fallen. Our rights were revoked. Our election was rigged and stolen. And now even our most basic freedoms are under threat. It has become abundantly clear that our Constitution is failing us. No one sees this more clearly than me. My name is Austin Steinbart, aka Q, and I am sitting in federal prison right now because I dared to exercise my First Amendment right to free speech and political activism. My house was raided by an FBI SWAT team because I made YouTube videos exposing government corruption and calling for a peaceful digital activism campaign. While others were allowed to incite riots and looting, I was arrested for inciting harmless phone calls and emails. Instead of being innocent until proven guilty, I have been deemed guilty until proven innocent and locked up pending a trial. A trial that has been unconstitutionally delayed over and over and over again for nearly a year now. And the judge overseeing my case has repeatedly denied me even the most basic legal resources I need to adequately defend myself at trial. Almost every single one of my rights has been violated. It has never been more clear that our Constitution is failing. How could things have possibly gotten this bad? We could blame the crooked FBI, who regularly uses its authority to railroad innocents it doesn't like, while frequently turning a blind eye to the worst criminals among them. We could blame the corrupt politicians who lie, cheat, and steal for their own selfish gain. We could blame the kangaroo news media who slanders us, or the tech titans who censor us. But the ultimate reason our republic is failing is that the courts and judges don't give a damn about our Constitution because they aren't required to. They operate in a shadowy jurisdiction where the Constitution is not the supreme law of the land, so they're able to ignore and override it if they so choose. A prime example of this is Judge Stephen Logan, the same federal judge who ignored the Constitution and arbitrarily changed the voting law in Arizona right before the election. Is the same one ignoring the Constitution in my case and allowing my rights to be violated by the FBI. Judge Logan doesn't care about following the Constitution because he doesn't have to. The Constitution is not required to be followed in the shadowy federal jurisdiction his court operates in. And it's not just his court. Other courts in other swing states, like Nevada and Pennsylvania, also ignored the Constitution and arbitrarily rewrote their voting laws right before the election. Our crooked courts are far and away the biggest reason that America is failing. Because if they can just ignore the Constitution, then our elections aren't legitimate and our rights don't actually exist. That's why we need a new court system. One that is required to recognize the Constitution as the supreme law of the land, not some fleeting antiquity they're free to ignore. Our elections and our freedom depend on it. Now is the time to make that happen. To rise up and to say that our Constitution and our rights are not optional. To come together and to demand a return to constitutional law in all courts, and to demand a new lawfully conducted election. Now is the time to leverage the tremendous power of our vast movement to set a political example that history will never forget. I am Q, and I am calling upon all the digital soldiers in the Q Army to stand up now and to fight harder than we ever have fought before. To reject this fraud being foisted upon us, and to claw back our Constitution once and for all.